What's good, y'all? Anderson Emerald here to talk about the Zurich Diamond League, the Diamond League final. We are finally here after an entire season since April or May or whatever it was up in China, all the way to Prefontaine, all the way to, Silesia, Lausanne, Brussels, and now the Zurich Diamond League final is where all the athletes have accumulated their points, been able to qualify for the final, and now are going to be capping things off. A few interesting things are on the line as we head and prepare for the World Championships. Some athletes are looking for some wild cards to potentially qualify them for the World Championships. Some athletes are looking to put down a good marker. Some athletes are looking to bounce back after some time away. All of these storylines are going down. So I'm gonna break this up into two separate videos. Today, I'm gonna talk about the women's sprints, hurdles, and jump events. Later on, I'm going to talk about the men's sprint, jump, and hurdle events. So let's first dive in, and I think we have to start with this women's 100-meter dash. This is a very intriguing race because we have the quote-unquote return of Julien Alfred to the circuit. She's going to be going up against Tia Clayton, Dean Asher-Smith, Maya McCoy, Zoe Hobbs, Jason Sears, Marie-José Talou-Smith, Patricia van der Wicken, as well as Salome Cora from Switzerland. Shout out to Salome. Now, Julien Alfred, she actually has not competed since, I think, July 19th at the London Diamond League, where she ran the 200, running a personal best of 21.71 seconds, I think. But since then, new stories came out when she was supposed to run in Silesia, in Lausanne, in Brussels. She pulled out, said that she was, the meets said that she was injured. She, corrected them with the St. Lucia Times, said that she actually is not injured. She's just working on things. Who knows? But she is back here. I think, in my opinion, she's ready. If she was truly injured or injured enough, she probably would have just skipped out on the Diamond League final and just went straight to Worlds, like many other athletes are doing. Nah, I think Julien is going to be ready. But this presents a very interesting situation for someone like Tia Clayton who's looking to get a wild card. But three stories. One is Julien Alfred, another is Tia Clayton, the other is everyone else. First off, Julien Alfred with this race, I think she needs to put down a marker to almost reassure the world that she is a true gold medal threat. Melissa Jefferson Wooden has been out here dominating, tearing everything up, running 10-6, 10-7, like dominating fields like no other. And pretty much the entire world has Melissa Jefferson Wooden as the gold medal favorite. Now, in my personal opinion, it's not absolutely clear. I think Julien is still capable of challenging Melissa. We saw at Prefontaine Classic, 10.75 from Melissa, 10.77 from Julien. But Melissa is the gold medal favorite. Now, Julien, after some time away, can she put down a marker here to, again, prove to the world that, I was away for a bit, but I'm still here. I'm still challenging for gold. I'm an Olympic gold medalist for a specific reason. Now, that can come in two different forms. Maybe that is a time where she runs 10.6 something and she just is like, I'm back. I'm right here. Or maybe it's just the dominance over the rest of the field, similar to how Melissa Jefferson Wooden did in most recently Brussels Diamond League. So there's some interesting dynamics, but I do think the track and field world has kind of not stepped away, but looked at Melissa as like, okay, she's the it girl right now, but Julien maybe can, reassert herself once again to make sure people didn't forget what she's capable of. Second story, Tia Clayton. Tia Clayton got injured at the Jamaican trials earlier this year. She ran 10.86 seconds in the semifinal, and then in the final, she pulled up, got injured, had to be carried off, really tragically on a wheelchair. But since then, she's gotten herself back together. And most recently at the Silesia Diamond League, she ran 10.82 seconds, a new personal best, one of the fastest times in the world this year, and showed like, I am still here. I am still more than capable of actually being one of the best in the world. Now, because she missed the Jamaican team, if she wins this 100-meter race, that means she gets a wild card spot to the World Championships. But the problem is Julien Alfred. I think 99% of people, would pick Julien Alfred to win any race, considering Julien Alfred has run this year. She's run 10.75. She's run 10.77. She's run 10.79. She's been very consistent in the 100 meters, whereas Tia Clayton, yes, she's run 10.8. Yes, more recently she ran 10.82, but Julien versus Tia, it's not much of a competition. So that's the storyline. Can Tia Clayton actually upset Julien Alfred to get the win and earn a wildcard spot to the Tokyo World Championships? That would allow her to join Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Sharika Jackson, and Tina Clayton to Worlds. But Third storyline is essentially everyone else here. You have Dean Asher-Smith, who, hasn't been really doing well in these most recent Diamond Leagues, kind of finishing really far down the pack, especially in I think Celestia. Not a really good race there, but can she kind of pick herself back up to get into the conversation? Zoe Hobbs, she's been having a decent, season. She's run 10.9 this year already. Maya McCoy has been overall a good season, but recent races have been kind of mixed. She's run some 200s. Jaisa Sears missed the USA team, but she's likely going to be in the relay pool. What can she do here? Patricia Vanderweeken, can she break 11 seconds? And then Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith. I think if anyone in this field is going to be another barrier for Tia Clayton, it's Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith. Remember the Hungary Continental Tour meeting? Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith actually got the win there. And she beat out Sharika Jackson. She beat out Tina Clayton. She beat out Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. She beat out some of the best women in the world. So, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. So, 3 stories again. Julien Alfred. Can she remind people why she is still a true gold medal threat? Tia Clayton, can she pull an upset and actually get the win here to win a wild card to the World Championships? And then the rest of the field, how will all the other women fare, either behind or ahead of, Julien and Tia, as I noted before, specifically Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith. Now, let's move over and talk about the women's 200 meters, as this also has interesting dynamics considering someone like 2 women, Brittany Brown, Mackenzie Long, and technically Jenna Prandini are in the hunt for a wild card to the World Championships. But along with them, you have Anavia Battle, undefeated on the Diamond League this year, second place at USA's, going to the World Championships. Dean Asher-Smith, she's doubling up here. She just won British Championships, running 22.1. You have Jessica Gabai. She made the final at the Olympic Games last year in the 200. You have Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith, who, like I said, she's been doing very well this season. She's doubling up, running the 100, and she's coming off a season's best and World Championship qualifier of 22.37. You also have Amy Hunt, she's the Diamond League leader in terms of points, and she has been absolutely on one all throughout 2025. Now, I'm looking to see if Brittany Brown is able to get the win over the field here. She just won at the Lausanne Diamond League in pouring rain, running 22.3 seconds, and she got 4th place at USA's. If Brittany Brown or if Anavia Battle wins the Diamond League final on Thursday, then Brittany Brown gets the wild card to the World Championships. But if Mackenzie Long or Jenna Prandini wins the Diamond League final, then they get the spots to Worlds. But I'm a little skeptical on Mackenzie and Jenna actually pulling off the win. Jenna, she's a little farther outside looking in, just considering what she's done this season. Mackenzie, based on what I saw in Lausanne, she didn't get a good start from the blocks, but she also wasn't executing the best race in the second half either. So it's going to be a little bit tough. I feel a little more confident about Brittany, but look at the rest of the field. Amy Hunt has been having a very good season, and I can see her winning this. Like I said, in Navia Battle, I think she could also win this. This is her first race since USA's. So who knows what kind of form she's in, but she's peaking for world champ. So who knows? Dean Asher-Smith, like I said, outside of that race at British Trials, and then also, she did pretty good at the London Diamond League in the 200, but she just hasn't looked as strong, especially even at the Lausanne Diamond League where she lost to Brittany Brown. So little mix, similar Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith. She did well, in her last 200 race to get that 22.37, but I don't know. We'll see how things play out. So keep an eye out for the women's 200. I do like Brittany's chances of winning or Anavia. But I think Amy Hunt could be a very, very strong factor in this 200 here. So we'll see how that does play out. Next up, women's 400 meters. We are back and ready to finish the season with the last quote-unquote head-to-head matchup between Marley DePaulino and Sawi Nasser. But I know head-to-heads, Marley DePaulino is the one to watch here. She's been dominating. She only lost one single race, which was her opener at the Kingston Grand Slam track meet. But since then, she has been on one every single time out. 48.81 seconds, season's best at the Paris Diamond League, which actually beat out Sawi Nasser, who ran 48.84. And look at the split screen of what they both did at their most recent Diamond League. Marley DePaulino, she dropped down to get some speed work in, and she ran 22.4 seconds. I think it was her third fastest time ever, and she beat out athletes like Dean Asher-Smith, Mackenzie Long, and I think Daryl Nita was in that race as well. So she essentially beat out some strong 200-meter contenders, just like kind of flexing her 200-meter strength. Now she's jumping back up to the 400. Like, am I expecting to be like, nah. Sawi Nasser on the flip side, she ran the 400 at the Lausanne Diamond League, and she finished, sixth place or something like that? I forget. She was just down the pack, though. And whatever her race model she was trying out, it just didn't work as she might have planned it to. And the last time that these two women raced at the Celestia Diamond League, Sawi Nasser got ran down by Paulino. So I don't know. This is a race of, with Paulino versus the rest of the field. Sawi Nasser, how will she actually pick herself back up after the Celestia Diamond League? And then what will everyone else do? We saw Henriette Jager, get the win at the Lausanne Diamond League. Lieke Klaver was second place, so not too far behind. Natalia Bukowiecka, she didn't do well at the last 400. I've heard rumors she may be dealing with some setbacks, not exactly sure, but we'll see if she picks things back up. Olympic bronze medalist, of course. Amber Anning is someone who's been, hopefully getting a little bit better as the season has progressed. Martina Val has also been doing very well. Isabella Whitaker has been on one, getting second place at USA. So overall, strong field. I'll say I'm a little, not that I'm surprised because she didn't run any Diamond Leagues, but Cindy McLaughlin-Varney has not run any 400s since USA's, and she gotta beat Marlitou Paulino. That's who she got to beat. She has a talent, but I don't know. We'll talk about that another time. Predictions probably coming next week or something like that. Now let's move over to the women's 100-meter hurdles. We are not going to see the women that we were expecting, but we still have a very strong field. Let me not say that. I mean, I guess I was expecting Masai Russell, even though she did communicate she's not doing the Diamond League final. But I mean, listen, look at this field. Let me not downplay this field. This is a final. Outside of Masai Russell and maybe one other person, Megan Tapper, this is a final. Tobi Amisan, who's run 12.24 this year, she ran 12.25 while sleeping in the blocks in Silesia. She's on one. Kenny Harrison, 12.37. She's looking for a wild card to the world champs. You also have, I'll get to a wild card in a second, Ditaji Kambunji also has been, picking things back up. Got third place at the Lausanne Diamond League behind Nadine Visser and Masai Russell. Tonia Marshall, she's also looking for a wild card. Ran 12.24, second place to Masai in Silesia. Akira Nugent, of course, very consistent this year. Grace Stark, coming back onto the circuit after some time off, but she is also in the hunt to get a win here. Nadine Visser, she won in Lausanne in some bad conditions. Can she replicate that 12.28 or go faster, from the prelims in Silesia? And then Danielle Williams, defending world champion from 2023 and from all the way back in 2015. Literally just ran a personal best of 12.3 in Silesia. So the thing to look out for is anyone can win this race. Absolutely any athlete in this field can win the race. Some storylines, though, at least for the Americans, are that if Grace Stark or if Kenny Harrison win this race, then Kenny Harrison gets a wild card because she was fourth place at USA's. If Tonia Marshall, who just ran 12.24 and was second place to Masai Russell in Silesia, if she wins, then she gets a wild card because she was, I think, sixth place at USA's, sixth or fifth place. Someone could fact check me on that. But every other woman could also win. Nadine Visser, she very, very, very likely can win and can run fast. Akira Nugent can win and run fast. Tobi Amisan can win and can run fast. Danielle Williams can win, can run fast. Ditaji Kambunji, she can win and can run fast. Even though someone like Ditaji has a slowest personal best here, a 12.40, that's not her true potential. That's not her true potential. So don't sleep on what she's capable of. I'm excited to see how this hurdle race plays out. It's exciting. Women's 400-meter hurdles. I'm going to be completely honest. I was expecting this field to be stacked, but we don't have Dalilah Muhammad. We don't have Anna Cockrell. We don't have Jasmine Jones. We don't have Savannah Sutherland. Being completely honest, that's four women who I think are in the medal hunt. We do have Femke Bol. Now, this isn't to downplay any of the women in the field, but between Ayomide, between Andronette, between Gianna Woodruff, all these women are very, very competitive. But just looking at the landscape of 2025, Femke Bol, along with Dalilah, Anna, Jasmine, and Savannah, those are the women who are really, really in the contention because they're capable of running, 52 low or faster. So Femke Bol, she is a class of the field here, and she is probably going to get the win. I do have my eyes again on Andronette Knight because I think she has a lot of potential. She should have a personal best in the 52-second range. I think she has potential. Gianna Woodruff, she just came off running 53.8 at the Brussels Diamond League, and then it's not too far off her personal best. So we'll see how she does play out. Emma Zapalatova, she also has run 53.58, had a very strong run recently. So strong athletes in the field, but this is the Femke Bol show that I think everyone has their eyes out for. Now, let's finish off with two of the field events. First off, the women's long jump. We're not seeing Tara Davis-Woodhull, but we are seeing Malaika Mihambo. And I say that because Tara Davis-Woodhull is the gold medal favorite, bar none. And again, I'll have predictions on the jumps coming up later on as well. But Malaika Mihambo, She's in the field, previous Olympic gold medalist, defending Olympic silver medalist, but she hasn't looked as great in the second half of the season as you might expect. You do have Larissa Appuccino, who also hasn't really looked as great as you might expect, but Claire Bryant, she's been having a pretty good season. Of course, coming off of USA's, she's qualified for Worlds. You have Monet Nichols, who's up and down season. She didn't qualify for the World Champs, but if she wins here, she can get a wild card to the World Championship. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Hilary Kapcha from France. I don't know why the flag is not showing up. Don't come at me. But, she's someone who's also someone to keep an eye out for. I feel like she has a lot of potential. She's obviously jumped 7.02 meters, but maybe hasn't been as consistent as you might expect. I'm looking to see what she's able to do. But with all these women, looking to see what they can do. Also note, if Monet Nichols wins, she gets a wild card to Worlds. If Claire Bryant wins, then Alyssa Jones gets a wild card to the World Championships because she was 4th at USA's in the long jump. So keep an eye out for that. Last one is the women's triple jump. And this is kind of a good field overall, pretty much an Olympic final field. Of course, we have to add a few more women, but this is pretty much what we just saw at the Brussels Diamond League, essentially, with and that we saw a good competition at the Brussels Diamond League. You have Lianis Perez Hernandez, you have Velasco. They were kind of going quote unquote back and forth at the Diamond League. Lianis, of course, did get the win. You also have Jasmine Moore, who got 3rd place. You have Thea Lafon, defending Olympic champion. Shanika Ricketts, defending Olympic silver medalist. And you have Povea, who is the world indoor silver medalist behind Perez Hernandez, who got the gold medal indoors. So stacked field. It's pretty much just a more condensed field from what we just saw at the Brussels Diamond League. And what's interesting is Perez Hernandez is the clear favorite. Not clear, let me not say clear, but she's a favorite going into the World Championships for the triple jump. But Thea Lafon, Shanika Ricketts, they haven't had as great of a second half of the season, but I think they're still in the conversation. Jasmine Moore is also in the conversation. And because she's not doing the long jump at Worlds, her only being in the Diamond League final here in the triple confirms that, then she's really focused on the triple jump, which might be scary, might be dangerous. This is the first time since 2021 that she's only focused on one event at the World Championships or the Olympics. 2021, she was still at the University of Georgia, I think. She was young. So who knows? And Shanika Ricketts, I know that she hasn't been as strong in the second half of the season, but you can never count her out. And Velasco dealt with injuries over the past, I think, 2 to 3 years or so, but she's coming back. 3 personal bests in the Brussels Diamond League, you cannot count her out. So I don't know, we'll see how this plays out, but that was the preview for the Zurich Diamond League on the women's side. Again, check out the video later on for the men's preview of all the sprint, hurdle, and jump events. But I'm excited. This is the final Diamond League, literally the Diamond League final. Some wild cards on the line, some big performances potentially going to be going down here. We'll see. Let me know what you're looking forward to at the Zurich Diamond League with the women. And as always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.